Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi is happening. Now, who's going to win this fight? Before we talk about who's going to win this fight, let's take a look at their latest performances in which Brandon Moreno fought Alexandre Pantoja for a second time, in which Alexandre dropped him in round one. But then both went to work. Both of their striking was great, but Alexandre Pantoja ended up taking it by decision. After this, Brandon Moreno went to fight Brandon Royval, in which it was a very close fight. Both went back and forth. Both landed some great shots and kicks, but Brandon Royval ended up taking it by decision. Let's take a look at Amir Albazi's latest performances, in which he fought Alexandre Costa, in which Amir Albazi started off very fast, dropped him in round 2. Amir Albazi then knocked him out in round 3. After this, Amir Albazi went to fight Kai Kara-France, in which it was also a very close fight. Kai Kara-France landed Amir Albazi, but Amir Albazi had way more ground control, and he ended up taking it by decision. And based off their latest performances, I got Brandon Moreno winning this fight.
Now, here's the thing about this fight. I will say as of right now, this fight is a pretty even fight because if you take a look at the ranks, you see that Brandon Moreno is rank number 2 and Amir Albazi is right behind him, rank number 3. And both men are also very good in all realms of fighting, whether it comes to striking or whether it comes to showing off their amazing grappling and submission skills. Now, although this fight is pretty even in some sense, it's also pretty uneven in other sense because Amir Albazi has a big disadvantage going into this fight, and that is the fact that he hasn't been as active as Brandon Moreno. Because if you look at Amir Albazi, you'll see that he hasn't had a fight this year and he only had one fight last year. Meanwhile, Brandon Moreno had 2 fights last year and 1 fight this year. So Brandon Moreno is definitely the fresher fighter, but at the same time, that could or could not make a difference on how Amir Albazi performs. On top of the fact that Amir Albazi is on a 6-fight winning streak and he's managed to stop 4 of those opponents. So in the end, it's really hard to predict on how this fight's going to go and who's going to win this fight, since you could argue that Kai Kara-France was beating Amir Albazi on the feet and Brandon Moreno did TKO Kai Kara-France, and you could also say that Brandon Moreno has the more high level and championship experience. So in the end, my prediction is that it's going to be a really close fight. Both men are going to go back and forth, and it's going to be a very close fight, especially when it comes to striking and showing off their amazing grappling skills. But I would like to see Amir Albazi take the win, since I want to see Amir Albazi fight for the title, because we need new faces fighting for the title. Nobody wants to see Brandon Moreno have another title fight.